Hi everyone, so I've been saying I'm going to do this video forever and I haven't done it yet, so this is a video for my go bag. Some things will change within the next couple days. For one, I still need to get a rain poncho, and then Erin ordered us a couple watches. Okay, so to get started, this is my pack that I'm using. It's a Titan 3400. It's 55 liter capacity, which is huge. And then inside of it, I have it lined with a compactor bag. I recommend everyone use a bag of some sort inside their bag to keep their stuff dry in case it's raining out. For my sleeping situation, I have an old sleeping bag I've had since like high school for like emergency use. I used to keep it in my car. I don't anymore. And then inside of it, I have 4 emergency foil blankets because I imagine this blanket isn't going to be very warm if it's cold. So I want to have a foil blanket to go underneath and then on top in case it's cold. And then the 2 extra blankets is if we're able to keep our pets with us. I want to be able to keep them warm also. For clothes, I recommend you do not use cotton. In the backpacking world, they say cotton kills, and it's because it tends to hold moisture for a long time, which means that you're more likely to get cold if you're like sweating or you get rained on or something like that. Synthetic fabrics like polyester and then wool dry much quicker. If you can afford to use wool, one of the benefits is wool is that it tends not to smell as quickly as other fabrics. So if you're not able to really shower and wash your clothes, you might smell a little fresher for a little longer. So for my pants, I'm actually going to be changing these out. I love these pants so much. Ended up buying like 2 more pairs of them just so I can wear them all the time, but they don't have pockets. And then this I got from the Value World resale store. It's just a t-shirt, like just a normal workout t-shirt. And then I have this fleece to go over it in case it's cold. So that's another thing too when you're picking out your clothes. You don't want anything that's too bulky if you can help it, but I feel like if it's cold out, this will be worth the space in my bag. Okay, and then for socks, I have 2 pairs of wool socks or wool blends. I never match my socks, so this is the 1 pair. And then these are my Hygiene toe socks. Toe socks for me are a must if I'm going to be doing any walking over than like 2 miles, because my feet are prone to blisters. So whatever you have in your bag, make sure it's something that's comfortable and you like to use in your everyday life. And then I just have a sports bra and then a pair of underwear. For period products, I have pads and tampons, and I have 1 pair of period underwear in case I do have a water source nearby. I can rinse them out and dry them. For our everyday toiletry type situation, I'll go through what I have in here. Okay, I recommend if you're gonna take duct tape or any other tape, you do not take the whole roll. You just take off what you think you might be using and then you wrap it around something, okay? So this is Leuco tape. It's great for first aid situations. For me, before I discovered the Hygiene toe socks, I would wrap my toes with this. It's a pain in the butt to do, but it works. But the other thing with it too is you can use it to make like a Band-Aid. Your skin isn't broken yet, you can just put it on your skin. So say you're walking along and you realize you're getting a rub spot on your ankle, but your skin isn't broken yet. You can just slap a piece of this on your ankle and continue on. Now say the skin is starting to break. So you would take a section of it off, and then you would peel off another section and put the section on top of the other one. Okay, so I tore off a piece of the Leuco tape. So this is the big piece. So say I'm getting a blister on my ankle and I want to do something about it. So here's the big piece and this sticky side up. And so then I also have this smaller piece. And so then I would just take this smaller piece and put it like this. Okay. I mean, granted, you'd be doing a better job than me because you'd have both hands you can use. And so then this piece right here would go against the broken skin, and this part would be on the good skin. And then you can throw antibiotic ointment on that, or just, if you don't have it, leave it, or use Vaseline or whatever. So I have a whole roll of this stuff. So if anybody decides they want to have it in their bag, contact me, let me know, and you're more than welcome to help yourself to some of this stuff. Because next thing, I have baby wipes, and then I have astringent dipped in, cotton balls dipped in astringent, I guess. Baby wipes are great to clean up with. I just buy the cheap ones from the dollar store. Same thing, this is just witch hazel from the dollar store. This is what we use for backpacking. So a lot of these decisions I've made is based off of my experience backpacking. So if you're wondering why I've come to conclusions on certain things, that's why. The next thing in here is earplugs. I am a horrible sleeper. And if I'm in a situation, say we all have to go to a gymnasium and sleep, and there's snoring and people talking around me. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. So I have earplugs for that situation, which also just made me think of, do I have? I'll see. I do have Benadryl. Okay, so then these are the medications I have packed. I have Benadryl in here, Motrin, Imodium, and then I also have Pepto downstairs that I can add to this also. So they say with backpacking, you pack your fears. So my fear is not sleeping, being in pain, having stomach problems. And then once we get to the food, you'll see that it's also being hungry. Because toilet paper, we've discovered with backpacking, we don't really go through it all that much. But you do need it on hand, you know. For peeing, I don't bother wiping when I'm outside. But, so there's that. Might be TMI for some of you, but I don't know. Whatever. And then my toothbrush, toothpaste. I really like this size of toothpaste. I got it from Dollar Tree. I feel like it'll easily last a week if I need it to, maybe even longer. A collapsible hairbrush that has ties around it. And then also a mirror, not that I care what I look like, but. And then I have alcohol prep pad swabs, which honestly, I feel like would be more if I need to repair gear. Adding a sleeping pad, the inflatable ones that they sell at REI, because they are a life changer as far as sleep goes. The hard ground is very difficult to sleep on. But like say I got a hole, then I would use alcohol pad to prep the area, and then I would do the whatever to fix it. And then I also have antibiotic ointment, which is also great if you have chafing. The other thing you can use if you have chafing is called Body Glide, which we do take with us when we go backpacking. But I don't have that in here right now. I might end up adding it. I don't know. So those are all like my personal care products pretty much, and I keep them all together in a bag. Now, as far as water filtration goes, I am taking 2 systems with us, which is an overkill, but there is a reason for it. So let's start with the pros and cons of both the Lifestraw and the Sawyer Squeeze. First off, they do the same job. They work the same way. The Lifestraw, the pros, it's very cheap. The con is if you're going to cook with it, you have to suck up the water and then spit it out. On the flip side, though, if you do have a way to boil, you can boil your water for a minute and then you can cook with it. But some people do cold soak your food, which I can get into with the food aspect of it. With the Sawyer Squeeze, all you have to do is attach the Sawyer to like a smart water bottle, and then you can filter directly from that. So another reason, or the big reason I have 2 water filtrations with me is that once you use a filter, it cannot be frozen. If a filter is frozen, the water inside will damage it and you'll have to throw it away. So another reason I'm bringing 2 is so that I'll have a backup one. Or if I run into someone who doesn't have a filter, I can give them one of mine. So this is also why I have my filters in a Ziploc bag. So if it is really cold outside and I'm outside, I can put the filter inside the Ziploc bag and then keep it inside my coat and keep it working. Another option for filtering water or treating your water is using the chemical tablets. Make sure you read the instructions. It might be 35 minutes from the time you start the process to when the water is actually safe to drink. I've also heard that they have a chemically taste. So you might want to bring like a Gatorade powder or a Mio add to it so the water tastes better for you. The tablets are very cheap, very lightweight, and space saving. So if that is something that you're interested in doing, go for it. But these are just the 2 options that I'm taking with me. I also have hand sanitizer. Okay, now I'm going to kind of get into like my communication, I guess you would call it, type thing. So I have phone charger and a charger for our headlamp. This is a headlamp that we have. I got it. I need to stop saying so much. I got it off of Amazon. It's 2 for $26. I did try a cheaper brand that was 2 for $20. It works, but it also felt fragile to where like this top screen part here would break easier. So these are the ones that we've been using for backpacking for the last 1.5 years. Pros for headlamps versus flashlights. You can use your hands. Your hands are free to do whatever you want. And you can also hang them up as long as you have like a hook or something, and then it can shine down on whatever else you're doing. Headlamps are awesome. I have my Bible and I have it in a freezer bag to keep it safe in case it rains or whatever. If we're not able to use cell phones, we can't charge them, whatever, I have a notebook to where Aaron and I can write notes to each other. And then I also have Ziploc bags to where if it's raining, I can put the note inside the Ziploc bag and leave it under a rock or something. We have walkie-talkies. We never use them. So I was like, why not throw them in the bag? So I have flashlights, or not, I have batteries for the walkie-talkie. I have two N95 masks that I put inside the notebook to keep them mostly wrinkle-free. I also have 3 pens packed, and the one pen you can see here is wrapped in duct tape. Like I said earlier, you do not need to bring a whole roll of anything. Of all the time we've been going backpacking and camping, I have never once used duct tape. But in case we need it, we have it. This is at least 1.5 feet of duct tape. It might be more. In here I have cash money, 1s, 5s, and 10s. So that's all that stuff. And when I'm done, I'm going to show you how I'm packing my bag and if there's any changes I've had to make to my bag to make things fit. I also have my fire gear. I have fire starter sticks. I have flint and a striker thing, which I could always use to start the pocket rocket stove, which I'll get into when I go into my food. I have a lighter that's also wrapped with duct tape. And then this fun little tin here has fishing line and hooks on it and a few weights. So if I am somewhere where there's fishing, I can fish, and that 1 could be fun and 2 could add a little variety to what we're eating. I also have work gloves in case there's some kind of natural disaster, and I guess 2 could also keep our hands warm if I don't have gloves in my coat at the time and it's cold out. Getting into the food, the fun stuff. I have this grate here. I'm not sure I will actually bring it. It is heavy, and it is kind of, you know, big, takes up space, but make a little fire, cook your food, boil water, whatever you want to do. And that way I could save fuel. And then this is my Stanley pot I bought. Pros of the Stanley pot. It was really cheap. It comes with, actually came with 2 cups. For everything that I packed Aaron and I to both have basically the same stuff. So we have double. So both of us have a Stanley thing and then 1 cup. The reasoning is if for some reason we're separated, we'll still be able to cook our food and have hot food. If you just want to do the emergency bar route, or maybe granola bars or protein bars or whatever you want to do, that's great. That's fine. I also really love being able to have hot food. It is such a morale booster. There's nothing like hot food when you're cold and you're tired. It's just fantastic. So this is something that for me, is worth the extra space in the bag and the extra weight. I really love it. The downside is, what if we don't have access to water? That will suck. But I do have enough emergency ration bars and protein bars to where I would be okay. With the Stanley pot, going through it, the pros of it also is it has the measurements on the side, and you can also see it from the inside. So if you are cooking something and it says to add like 2 cups of water, you know where the 2-cup mark is. And then the cup rests inside of it, and then this is the top for the fuel. Which, there's 2 canister options. I have this size in Aaron's bag. I might cheat for myself and let Aaron carry the extra weight and just assume I'm going to be with him, and then just buy a new one of these smaller ones. Because the cool thing about the smaller ones is it fits inside, and then you can close it up like that. To close, because the handle locks in place. So when you use it, you want to have this thing down here so the handle doesn't move. And then when you want to put it away, you move that thing out and then you squeeze the handle together. That's what happens when you try to hold it with your mouth. Squeeze the handle together, have the top on, and then bam. And then you just slide it open when you want to use it. What was I saying? Because I didn't know how to use the handle thing. I had to YouTube it because I'm a dork. You can get these cans at Meijers even. I also made a pot cozy for it, so you can conserve fuel. So say you have a rice thing, whatever, and it says to boil it for 7 minutes. You don't actually need to boil it for 7 minutes. In fact, these meals can be cold soaked, so as long as you have clean water, you can just, and I don't know the time, so that is something you'd have to research by yourself. You can just pour water into the meal and let it sit, and it will soften up and you can eat it. It just takes a while, and you have to, like, you can do it with the instant rice, you know, but not real rice type thing. So you have to kind of spend some time and research if that is something you're interested in doing. Cozy, it's made with Reflectix and Reflectix tape. And so after your water's boiling and you add whatever meal you want to it, you just kind of stick it in here, put the top on it, and let it sit. So if you are going to do a pot cozy, 2 things to remember: it's going to take longer for your food to cook, and 2, use less water, because if you're supposed to boil it for 7 minutes, you're going to be losing water in the boiling process. So just cut back some. I will. So this is the stove attachment to it. I open it up, and then I have to push the feet down. So this is a titanium one. One of the YouTubers who I like to follow, who does through hikes, uses this one. The one I have in Aaron's bag has a starter here, starter switch, so you just kind of push it in and it starts it for you. This one I'll have to use a lighter. So when you go to put it on the canister, make sure this valve thing is shut. And then even with it shut, you are going to hear some gas released from the canister. Now I'm going to open the valve a little bit, and then I have my lighter and I can start the little flame. And then you put your pot on top of it, boil your water, cook your food. And then when you go to take it off, make sure don't burn your hand, but I didn't use it long, so it's fine. Maya's trying to figure out what just happened in here. Hey, Maya. So this monstrosity of a pile is our food, or at least the food that I'm packing in my bag. Aaron has a very similar pile. So I have, for good measure, the emergency ration bars. Each one of these bars is 410 calories. There's 9 bars in this. So worst comes to worst, 3 bars a day would give me 1,200 calories, which I could survive off of. Would I be hungry? Yeah, probably, but I could survive easily. And that would give me 3 days worth of food. Okay, so that's if I don't have a water supply. Along with not having a water supply, I also have tuna and chicken packets that I can eat on. So I have 2, 4, 5 of these. These are planned to go with the other meals, though, that I'll show you in a minute, just to add more protein to it. So that is also an option if I don't have a water supply. And then I have protein bars in here, oatmeal. I mean, I guess you could eat it dry. That would make you really thirsty, though. But there's oatmeal in here also, but protein bars also. So that would give me 3 days worth of food that I could eat on without having any water supply. I have 3 liters of water packed, which is 1 liter per day, which would be horrible because I love water. But again, you could survive, you'd live. Okay, the other thing I have packed is a spoon. It's just a spoon from Dollar Tree. I highly recommend everyone, no matter what you're bringing, even if all you're bringing is emergency bars, protein bars, whatever, bring a spoon, okay? Bring a small pocket knife. This one I got from Meijers. It's super lightweight. It's sharp enough to do anything that you would be generally needing to do. And then a punch can opener. Cool thing too is it's also magnetic, so then all of that kind of sticks together. And then I like to keep it in a bag because otherwise it can get lost in your bag. Like for me, my food stuff sack bag really easily. So then for the fun meals, assuming I have water, I have Knorr sides. Okay, so you can get backpacking food, which is generally really good, and you can get it at like REI or order it online. But it is expensive. The inexpensive option is you go to Meijers or whatever store you use and get the pasta sides or the rice sides. So the pasta sides are really delicious, but the downside is if everything's getting smashed in your bag, the pasta is also going to get smashed in your bag and it's going to break down small. So for this, I have the rice sides because I don't have to worry about the rice getting smashed and broken into 1,000 pieces. Now they have, like, the cooking instruction is water, milk, margarine. We use for backpacking. We just use water. If we have small mayo packets available, we'll take those with us and that to it, and it makes it creamy. But that's perfectly good just the way it is. And then to this, we like to add tuna or chicken, and then bam, you have a full meal. And generally we can split one of these and be full. If we've been doing a lot of hiking and walking, or it's cold out, we might be a little hungry. Maybe we would add like a protein bar or side of mashed potatoes or something like that. But generally, this split between 2 people will be enough for a nice, decent meal. And then one of our other favorite things to eat is Thai curry ramen. It's delicious. It's so good. So the downside to the pot that I have for this is it's really narrow. The one that we have for backpacking is a lot wider. So I will have to break up the ramen into more pieces in order to get it in here to cook, but it doesn't matter. It'll be delicious and we will be happy. For the backpacker meals, we have chicken coconut curry. I've never had this one. And then Mexican style beef bowl. I believe this is one of the first ones we ever had and we loved it. We have had the Kung Pao chicken. It was terrible. We hated it so much, so I do not recommend that. So that's just kind of where we're at. So the benefit though with the backpacker meals, I mean, they're packed full of protein. There's so much protein in them, which will also keep you full longer too. But again, we're just compensating for the other ones with having tuna. So as you can see, if we have water, amazing meals can be made. If we don't have water, we'll still be fine. I also have dog and cat food packed because if there's any chance I can bring my pets with me, I want to. I really, really want to. So just to give us the best chance, I have dog and cat food in both my bag and Aaron's bag. I don't have 3 days worth of food in here. I can almost guarantee it. But at the same time though too, if the animals are stressed, they're not going to be hungry right away, especially cats. Shadow, he is used to backpacking and camping, so he will have an appetite and we will probably have to ration his food. But both Aaron and I, again, like I said, have it. So between the 2 of us, we will have 3 days worth of food and just doing the best we can. I also have in Aaron's car a container full of cat litter with a lid on it. So that, again, if we have the cats with us and we're driving somewhere, I can have that open and hopefully they don't make a mess everywhere. The other thing for your food I highly recommend is bringing extra gallon bags because you might not have anywhere to throw away your garbage. That way you can keep your garbage with you, and then when you get a chance to empty it out, you can just empty out your garbage and toss it. Also, if you're on your period, let's hope you never are on your period in this type of situation, you can throw your used products in here until you're able to throw them out properly. Okay, I think that is basically everything. Like I said, I still need to get a rain poncho. Some people, and Aaron and I have kind of thought about it, have like shoes packed next to it. But the thing is, you want to have shoes that are in good shape and have already been broken in, just so I don't have to run around and find my shoes because I inevitably take them off somewhere weird and then it takes me a while to find them. Like as far as hat and gloves go and stuff, if I have enough time to come home and grab my bag, I have the hat and gloves organized in my closet to where I can easily grab it. And also I have this bag for my food. It's waterproof and you can hang it. I also am going to get another paracord. So if we are somewhere and there's rodents, you can hang your food up and they won't eat it. Because let me tell you, people worry up, like in backpacking, we call it a bear bag. But the biggest issue is going to be chipmunks and squirrels and mice because they will go after your food and eat it. So you want to keep it out of their reach. So that's why you hang your food. Well, thanks everyone for watching this mess, and I will show another video of me getting everything into my bag. Hopefully it all fits. But tell me in the comments, what do you like? What don't you like? What are you doing different? What do you think I should bring that I'm not bringing? Thought I might mention why I'm choosing to use different gear than backpacking. And basically, I love my backpacking gear, but it is very expensive, and I have a really long turnaround time from our backpacking trips and then getting stuff put away and back in order. So I figured it'd just be better to have a set of everything that's just always ready to go. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll try to get in the description box everything I've ordered from Amazon and Meijers. So if you did want to use the same gear I have, you can go for it.
I hope none of us ever need to use any of this, but if we do, we will be prepared.